all the stuff needed to have fun. My dad started me young. At 12 years old, I was trusted enough to go hunting with my dad or my uncle with my bow or my 410. At 13, I was turkey hunting when, what I was told later, must have been a panther screamed directly behind the tree I was sitting against. I froze, and I never felt so small. At about 14 or 15, I was with a friend in an 8-foot pram with a 2-horsepower outboard motor. We were trolling for speckled perch. Every time we trolled by this one spot, we caught fish. We tried casting, but got no hits. Troll by and catch fish. So we just kept going back and forth. On one pass, I saw a big gator moving from one splashlight behind us. No eyes. I shined both sides, slopes, no eyes. I turned to ask or say something to my friend, and he was gone. He yelled, "Come on, hurry up." I did exactly that. When I caught up, he was about halfway up a 10-foot-high chain fence enclosure surrounding a spillway. When I got there, I turned to see if there were eyes. Then I put the light in my pocket and started climbing up the outside. All of a sudden, in the dark, I hear a total commotion going on inside the enclosure, and my friend is climbing back out.
This Cantonese-style steamed fish only requires 5 ingredients and 15 minutes, which makes this a quick and delicious midweek meal. To make this even easier, I ordered all my groceries
And scaring people out in Holopaw. About 30 men hunted that thing for 2 days and nights. Still nothing. They said it stunk so bad the dogs wouldn't trail it. Later, National Geographic did an actual investigation with hair samples and foot casts and determined it was what we call skunk ape today. Flash forward to 1980. My brother-in-law and I were squirrel hunting. We were about 4 miles west of the Lion Roar Dike and about 5 miles from Holopaw. We both had 22 LR semi-autos. We were in an oak head when one squirrel decided to play hide and seek. I told my brother-in-law to walk around the other side of the tree so one of us would get a shot. To the path. It was about 50 yards away, just staring at me. There were still 2 hours of daylight left, so I could see its eyes, nose, the mouth was closed, very short neck, couldn't see ears, but maybe under thick hair. It had very wide shoulders, a thick chest, and long arms. It had very little, if any, hair on its palms or bottom of the feet. Its hair color was black with red tinges. I would guess about 7 feet tall based on the palmetto height he was standing in, and probably double my weight of 200 pounds. Hard to tell with all the hair. It stepped into the path, it looked at me, then just to any environment, but also being cognizant that my arrival did not go unannounced.
Pivot City Gear has all the looks you need to make a statement this spring. Express yourself with bold designs, classic looks, and vibrant colors from brands like Nike, Jordan, Adidas, and more. All the staples to keep you on trend from toe to head, including sneakers, apparel, and accessories. Keep your style in motion and stand out from the crowd. Shop now in store through the app or at Hibbett.com. Pivot City Gear.
As we began up a ridgeline, I noticed down in the bottom of the valley about 150 meters away a cottonwood tree in which I thought I saw a porcupine. I said to the adults with me, "There's a porcupine," but as I continued to watch it, I realized it was too big for a porcupine, and then thought it was a bear, but soon discovered it was not a bear. As I watched it, it was about the same size as I am now. I'm 6'4" and 250 pounds, and it was about 20 or more feet in the tree. Then it must have noticed us, because it jumped out of the tree and landed on its back feet, which was about 15 to 20 miles away. Yeah, right. We decided to call my brother instead. At about 7:30 p.m., we found a payphone. He said, my brother, that it would take him 4 hours to get to us due to traffic. So we said, all right, we'll be walking down Highway 62 to the 10 freeway. We were young and pretty stupid, so here we are, 4 dummies walking down the highway with the sun already gone. Oh boy, the first 3.5 hours were, I have to say, great. Watching the stars and the moon, just that every car that would pass by, the people would look at us strange. Except for 2 of us, we were walking in fear. I'd hear something about 30 feet away behind me in the brush, and I was at the tail end of the group. I yelled out, "All right, you fucking son of a bitch. I ain't running no more." So I started throwing rocks in the direction I hear the noise. Then all my friends joined in and started yelling too. After all of the rock throwing had stopped, we heard growls coming from different directions, about 3 different directions. We started hauling ass again. After stopping for a breath and then running again a couple more times, I saw one, standing up as high as 8 to 10 out of it. It was now dark out, and I figured we didn't have enough firewood for the entire weekend. I could see a big tree a little ways away from the camp that was about 3 feet wide and 8 feet tall. I told my friends that tree must have broke off, so we could probably find wood there where the rest of the tree was. We didn't take light, so our hands would be free. The firelight was enough. As we got closer, I remember telling them it smells like a skunk maybe near. I completely went down to the entrance, and I had suddenly felt I was being watched. I raised my head up out of the entrance and stood up, then turned around, and 10 feet from me, to my right, was an astounding sight. The Sasquatch was about 7 to 8 feet tall and was staring directly at me. Stunned, I stood there and just looked at it for 10 minutes, not believing what I was seeing. It had white fur around its eyes, which went into a goatee down into a white patch on its chest. I was telling a friend what I saw at the Rocky River Reservation. He was actually doing so because he was making fun of me. When he told this person about the incident, he looked at my husband almost confused and started to laugh. He said his girlfriend and him were making a path near that area, and he said his girlfriend pointed into the woods and said, "Did you see that monkey?" He says he never saw anything, but his girlfriend swears to this day that she saw an ape-like creature running on all fours through the woods. I was out looking for deer with an engineer, and not some guy who goes looking for Sasquatch or anything of that nature. My encounter starts out by telling you why I was in that region to begin with. Every year, they put on a big bass tournament on Lake Thurman, South Carolina, or we like to call it Clark's Hill Lake. I started off like all others started off, by practicing on the lake the week before the tournament starts. I put my boat in miles from where my encounter happened that day. We rode on the river for about an hour. Just so you know, my boat was running around 70 miles an hour most of the time. So we were in that country for 3 days. The second and third day, we went up to this canyon called Cache Creek Canyon to see how far we could make it. We got to this place where they had put in a culvert in way back when they were still logging this area. The culvert was sticking out of the road and had holes in it, and it looked pretty gnarly. And we found that our horses would jump over it, so we must have ran them back and forth over that damn thing for an hour until the horses were all lathered up. We decided to unsaddle and let them cool off. I remember clearly that my horse had its feet turned forward and would give a little snort now and then. He strolled out to me, and he snapped his head over, and so did I. And when I looked back at him, he just pulled himself up the cliff and grabbed onto another ledge with his hand and repeated it like 2 more times until he was at the top and disappeared from view. I yelled to my friend, "Did you see him?" As he walked up to me, he asked, "Who was that?" Several years later, I tried talking about it with him, and he claims he didn't see anything or anyone. I was sure he saw him, though.
If you love to make people's day, if you want to work where no 2 days are alike, this is a great job, and it can lead to a really rewarding career. We want you to join our family.
Come on,
Please
come on.
apply. We can't wait to meet you.
Vivid City Gear has all the looks you need to make a statement.
Hey, good evening, folks. It's Friday now. Let's see. December 15th. About halfway through this month. Come out today, we did some shoulders. Like I said, we're sticking to that same kind of schedule of lifts over the next month and a half, 2 months, till we arrive in February at Misery Road, where we will begin our little cut. That'll take about 2 or 3 weeks. So, did shoulders today, you know. Tomorrow, I'll be in the secret location. There won't be any filming, but we're gonna do arms tomorrow. Maybe some other little shit if I just feel like doing it, you know. Secret location, I got more stuff, different machines and stuff like that, cables, just more stuff at my disposal. So, mainly I'm going to do arms, but I might just do something else also in addition to arms. But doesn't matter as long as it's work. We're trying to stimulate some growth, get a little bigger. That's all that matters, I obviously don't mean that in a literal sense, like that's all that matters in the world. I'm talking about in reference to what I'm doing here. This little period of time, month and a half, 2 months, is what I'm really focused on. Eating a whole lot more protein, and kind of lifting hard and consistently every day. Might not be 2 or 3 hour long workouts, but I don't really feel like you have to be out here doing it that fucking long to get a good workout. You just come out, don't bullshit around too fucking much. Don't rest too much in between your sit, and just lift hard, Doesn't even really have to be heavy sets, heavy weight. It's good if it's heavy. It's going to probably stimulate more growth, but it don't have to be. You can do some lightweight with very slow and controlled, real good form, squeeze and stretch and all that, and do the same thing. But yeah, that's it, man. Done for today. We're going in the house. A few little things, kick around or whatever, a little task to accomplish. Get ready for tomorrow. And I'll probably see you back out here Sunday. Probably do some chest. Just like, that's what I'm probably going to feel like doing. I just like doing it. Anyway, take it easy.